Alright, so I just came back right now from the print shop, and I had them print out for me all the pieces of the Clarity Board kit, the PDF file, and also have them laminated for me. So it's colored paper, standard kind of little thicker than regular printing paper. Just you need to have 7 different colors. For the main Clarity Board headings, you can just choose a color, and you don't need to laminate it because you're not going to be writing on those. But everything else you should try to laminate. It's the best way to actually create a system that is erasable and reusable with a dry erase pen or a wet erase pen, however you choose. And that way these cards, which you're going to be putting on your Clarity Board system, are totally reusable and really easy to work with. So that's the first step, is to get everything printed and ideally have it laminated. It cost me only about $10 to have this all printed and laminated, and it took me 30 minutes. So it's a pretty simple thing, and it's really worth it. Okay, now the next thing you're going to want is a sheet of magnetic adhesive paper. It's basically a magnet in the shape of a regular printing paper, and on one side is sticky, the other side is magnetic. The kind that I have come in 4 packs, and so I've got 16 of these sheets in 4 different packs of 4, and that's going to be more than enough for the Clarity Board setup. The next thing you're going to do, obviously, is you're going to take the magnetic sheet, take off the cover of the adhesive side, and carefully put your laminated pages, each one onto the laminated side, the adhesive side, and you're going to end up with every one of your colored printed sheets with a magnet in the back, right? And so then you're going to end up cutting each one along the lines. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can use even a paper cutter if you really want to be sharp and straight, but a pair of scissors also works fine. Okay, now just a tip for actually putting the paper, the laminated card or the printed card, onto the magnetic sheet. What I like to do is first take off the protective layer, take the magnet and stick it on to the whiteboard, the magnetic whiteboard, and then take your paper, and it's much easier to just line it up right onto that sticky end of the magnetic sheet. And you're just going to put some pressure on it, and then the whole thing comes off, and that's ready to be cut. Okay, so this is what it looks like once you've printed everything. If you want to laminate it, you've laminated it, and you've stuck it on now to the magnetic sheets, and you've got a lot of color now on the board. So basically these are different color coatings. You can choose whatever color paper, color scheme that you want, but you do need 7 different colors. For my system, pink is phone calls, yellow is admin, purple are goals or deadlines, and then the main sort of Clarity Board headings system is this darker yellow, and then green is desk work, and orange are my projects, dark orange, and the light blue is out of office activities. Right, so those are the main color scheme that I've chosen. You also have these grids. There's 2 sheets here, and then there's 3 sheets for the weekly calendar. Those are here. These are for managing your projects that you're doing at any given time. So we'll get into all that, how this whole thing works together, but this is what it should look like before you started cutting. right? So you've got all your papers together. And this is one of the most important pages. It's your icons. This is to keep track of the type of work that you're doing. It's just a way to visually see your day, your week, and every hour that you're, the context in which you're working. And the other reason I enjoy laminating these rather than just leaving them as paper is these wet erase markers are just amazing. They don't smudge with your finger. All you have to do is take a wet rag and then the information is gone. It's much easier to get rid of that than pencil and eraser, although pencil and eraser do work. So it's up to you, but I do recommend lamination and a wet erase marker. Okay, so this is the main structure of a clarity board. I haven't put any details, there's no assignments, there's no tasks, there's no projects, but I've just done the headings now so we can see kind of the general layout. Now you can choose the location on your board, how you want to put things, but these are the main elements, right? So you have what you're doing now with this sort of framework, this grid. I'll explain how that works, but this is where your projects that you're doing this week or doing now are going to go. You have a time bank. We'll explain what that is. You have a place for your goals. And you have your calendar, obviously. This is your weekly rolling calendar. These are the two main kind of sections of the clarity board. Everything else kind of feeds in and out of these two sections. The calendar is flexible. You can choose the hours that you want to set as your main working hours, the days of the week that you want to put on your board. These are all modular, flexible. And then on the other side here I have other projects basically that I'm not doing actively this week. I have a parking lot for tasks or projects, a waiting room, something that I'm waiting for something to happen in order to make progress on a project. That goes in the waiting section, and then obviously things that are done. So that's the main layout of the clarity board. So those are the main elements of the clarity board. We'll get into each one and explain how they all work together.